Facebook, it didn't connect. So it went live on YouTube, but not Facebook. So we'll see this
Let's
time.
see what happens.
Yeah. And
I told you that shit was saying like, I don't know, it was weird. I never seen that before, and it was just in the messages between me and you.
Oh, just our messages?
Yeah,
That's
it
strange.
like retrieved. It said some. I told whatever I sent you. I forgot what it said, but I was like, what the hell?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's strange. Okay,
yeah.
cool. Well, we're live right now, so we'll give it a couple minutes and see if
Okay.
folks can join us tonight. We should be connected to YouTube and Facebook if
Hi guys.
technology is working.
You don't call me Vicky. You call me Grandma. Oh fucker.
Let's see, show screen.
Okay. I'm on live right now, guys. I love you.
You're not on
I
live.
am. See, say hi.
Hi,
Who are you?
I'm
My friend
Marissa.
Marissa, say hi.
Ooh,
Okay.
how
Thank you,
cute.
Lilo.
Okay, anybody who comes on and catches us, please drop your name, say hello, and just share this for us. We're gonna get some information out tonight about the Yolo County explosion, just some updates that have been happening. I'm gonna check if it connected to
Okay.
Facebook.
Hold on. Baby,
Live on Facebook.
I'm live, okay? So you're in charge right now.
Okay, we got a few people on. Everybody say hello when you come on. I appreciate you guys coming on and seeing us tonight. It's Friday night, and this is what we're doing for a bit.
Hi, everybody.
Today, you guys, I have a guest, Victoria, right here on screen with me. She is from Woodland, the community of Woodland. She is, do you consider yourself an activist?
I do.
Yeah, I do too.
I
Me
do.
and Victoria met. I think we met when it came to the missing children, right? Around that time.
Yes. Well, I met you first when your brother.
Yeah,
We
my
didn't
brother
really meet,
died.
but we were there.
Yeah, he died right after or like during them missing. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think it was all like
It was
happening.
crazy how it all happened.
Yeah,
And we connected. Bye, Lilo. Love you.
we're like helping other people with
Yeah.
their tragedy, and
Yeah.
then that
With
happened.
Elijah and Enrique.
Yeah, shout out to Elijah
Yeah.
and Enrica,
Yeah.
boys from our
The two
hometown.
missing boys. Yeah.
Cool. I don't know if you consider Woodland your hometown. So, you guys,
I
today
do
we
now.
are going to we're going to talk about the explosion. We're going to share some updates, and we're going to review some corrupt Yolo County officials, which I don't live there anymore. She's there in Yolo County right now, so you might see these people around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and then I have a video, you guys, that I was working on so hard to get this video done, get all the information done, get the research and all the editing. And I was having trouble uploading it here today. So it wasn't uploading for me, but I didn't want to cancel, and I'm going to improvise. And guess what? I'm going to present it live to you guys right now.
Yay.
Yeah, so I have a presentation ready, and you guys basically get me doing it raw, no editing. So
Don't throw harder.
we will go ahead and whoever's in the comments, I see we got some people here. Say hello. I see Vanessa there. What's up, Vanessa? She was my guest a couple nights ago, guys. Vanessa Perez came and shared about her story and her son's story of police brutality, but survival story. So her son suffers from mental health illness, and it's a very great video, you guys. If anybody has a family member or is going through it themselves, I would recommend checking it out. And Terry Stops, what's up? Good to see you here, my friend. What do you say to the police? One of my cop watcher friends in here. So You guys keep saying hello. I'm going to pull up the presentation
Okay.
exposing 21 corrupt officials in Yolo County.
That's it?
That's it because that's all I
That's
can
a
put in the
lot.
video.
Well, that's a
But you
fucking
guys,
lot.
when I'm doing this, hi mom. When I'm doing this, Yolo County, I'm not even including like Woodland police and Woodland officials. So far we're focusing on Yolo County. For anybody who just got here, because some people are popping in, drop a comment, say hello. If you have a loved one that you have lost, or just somebody you want to send well wishes to, please do so in the comments, and drop any questions, comments as we're going through the presentation. I almost forgot, but I want to do a moment of silence for the victims. So we're talking about the victims from the Yolo County explosion, and because that's what we're talking about today. But also, you guys are talking about the police brutality victims and folks that out there suffering, the kids in Gaza, everybody, people that are suffering out there. You guys send some love. One moment of silence. I'm gonna put 60 seconds on my clock. You guys, however, you guys do your thing too, and thank you guys for being here. So 1 moment on the clock. Okay, guys, thank you. I hope you guys thought about people you love, and let's go. Once again, people are here. Today's topic is corrupt Yolo County officials. As I mentioned, I had trouble uploading my video. Technology has been messing with me lately, guys. I was thinking maybe they don't want me to share the message, but we're still here, right? We're still going to do it. So there are 21 people, so I'm not going to take too much time for every single one, but I'm going to give a quick overview. Feel free, you guys, to drop some questions or comments. Victoria, you as well. And I'll be sharing my screen. So here we go. As I mentioned, my video was having trouble uploading, so we are doing a presentation style. 21 corrupt officials, Yolo County exposed with Marissa Barrera. I am the best one to do this. Here are the victims, guys, from the Yolo County explosion. They were all workers. Once again, as you can see, they were all men, fathers, and some of them, they had just started, a couple of them, they had barely finished high school. Some of them had been there years. Some of them were best friends with each other. And actually, through my videos and sharing the updates, guys, I have connected with a lot of, most of the families, I think all of them at this point, with at least one of their family members. So, and some photos from that community members created. So, just one thing, always remember when we're sharing this information, I get my sources from a variety of different places. Some of it is my own personal knowledge. Some of it is from public records that I have gotten on my own. Some of it is from tips and people on the streets calling me and asking me to look into things or providing information. So Yolo County corruption runs deep, from sexual harassment, abuse of power, shielding child molesters, and more and more and more. This is for educational, informational purposes. And I feel it is my duty as a human being and as a person who has been directly impacted in Yolo County by the corruption That's how I feel.
Give me one.
So once again, 7 people dead from the explosion. RIP to all, and much love to their families. I can't say that enough every time I talk about this. I really can't. And um, it's just a really horrible situation, and what's happening afterwards just really adds to the pain. So once again, in the comments, guys, drop comments. We'll get back to them, and definitely want to hear you guys' thoughts as we're going through this. Okay. So law enforcement, they not only knew about the facility and did nothing about it, they were a part of it. If you guys have been following, well, my name is Marissa Barrera. Most of you guys know me, and that I have been fighting back and exposing law enforcement in Yolo County and across the country since 2017. The Yolo sheriffs, the DA, the coroner's office, they all played a role in covering up and justifying my brother's murder. And I do say murder because that's what it was. And if I was lying, they could try to sue me, but they can't because they would have to prove that I'm lying. So not everyone listed in this 21 list is directly involved with the explosion. Some of them have already retired or are no longer in their positions. But we will start with the family. So husband and wife, Sam and Tammy Machado, definitely made it to my list, number 1 and 2, and definitely both of them. They both work for the department, and they are both currently on paid leave. This is the cop family at the center of it, and I do call it Yolo County Sheriff's deadliest abuse of power because 7 lives. I do not have a picture of Tammy, but this is the family. So these are actually number 1 through 3. We added Rico. So the Machados and Matsumoras. We're going to start with Sam Machado, get in a little deeper with what we know about him. Lieutenant, he started in April 1st, 2002 to present, currently on administrative leave while the investigation is pending. And some of his roles, he's not just a lieutenant. He actually lived there on the property, owned it, and he was also the owner and operator of a federal gun business, Sam's Gun Sales. So it was tied to that same property. And during this tragedy, after the first explosion happened, somebody from the sheriff's department actually called dispatch to warn them to get the firefighters away from the house. And I've shared this in previous reels, guys, but to get the firefighters out of the house because it was going to blow. There's a lot of ammo is what was said. So he had stockpiles of ammunition, guns. It has been said that he was actually that they were manufacturing from there as well. That's word on the street. So he's also connected. Machado is also very deeply connected to the fire departments, fire crews. Him and Lopez, who Lopez is the former fire chief, but he's the current sheriff. So these two spent time working in high positions with the Madison Fire District, Fire Protection District. So already deeply tied to everything. They're all tied together. Here we have, this is Transparent California, where you can look up public officials here in California, their pay, their overtime, their benefits. This was for 2023. And I already mentioned the gun business. And this is a public record that was available online, and they were estimating that he made $140,000 that year in his revenue, estimated revenues for the gun business. Again, word is that they're manufacturing guns there as well. And public record does show us that he was running the gun business from his house. So, and I just want to say the first couple are the longest. Everybody is not, I'm not going to take this long for every single person on the list because we would be here for a long time. But so I mentioned what happened when the blast happened. They warned them to get the ammo out of the house. It was highly dangerous. Get the firefighters away, right? So that was already a hazardous situation. So something I learned while researching and doing my thing is that it's policy within the sheriff's department that if they're making outside money outside of the department that they must get approved by the sheriff. And I was told that by a deputy, which I have that screenshot coming up here too, guys. Machado is also named in multiple lawsuits. I found 3 with him so far. 2 of them are active currently still. And one of them is from regarding the explosion. That's the latest one. So this is the latest one. Etta James Farming LLC. They sued Sam Machado, both of the fireworks companies that were working out of there, Devastating Pyrotechnics and Black Star Fireworks, and their owner. So that's Craig Cutright, the firefighter, and then also the CEO. Okay, everybody good? Is there questions or anything?
It doesn't allow me to comment. It's I think it says it's logged. But yeah.
I think you would have to like as if you were watching from another like from a guest because you're as a guest on here. But if you're watching from the other, like from your phone or something, I don't know
Yeah.
if you have to.
I don't know how
That
to
kind of
do that.
sucks.
Huh?
Yeah,
I
that
don't.
kind of sucks.
Yeah. I took a screenshot so I could show you, but yeah. I
We
need
got a
to find the
hater in here.
internet. Yeah, we're good.
I when we get people in here, I definitely block negative comments because
I know. I see that.
you don't
I just
have to
ignore
be
them.
here if you don't want to. No
Yeah.
one asks.
Yeah, exactly. Like, why waste time if you hold on? Let me get my fat ass up. Why waste time into comment? Like, if you don't like what's being discussed, just leave. Like, makes no fucking sense.
It's all good.
But it's all
Uh,
good because the more interaction, the better.
Yeah, and we know they're watching. So
Yeah.
here is the actual lawsuit. So this is the lawsuit that was just recently filed. So that's
Right.
the first of many that are going to come out and about from this. Interesting thing, guys. So in 2023, there was a lawsuit. This is the second lawsuit that is out there against this deputy right now. 2023, he and the other Yolo County deputies pulled up to the man is a former attorney to his house. Supposedly there's some kind of call. Supposedly he has some kind of dementia. So ultimately, the lawyer and his wife are suing the department and Machado and multiple deputies because they're accusing them of misconduct, of brutality, of unlawfully seizing their firearms and their ammo. So it was estimated at $150,000 worth of guns and ammo that these deputies took from this couple. The thing about this is the lawsuit is active, so I don't have the full lawsuit or knowledge of the case, but the fact that it's still active and the judge has denied summary judgment to the plaintiffs, it says a lot. So there's some kind of substance there. I'm going to continue watching that case because I find that to be very interesting, especially at this time with what's happening with all this gun business. So the Sheriff Tom Lopez is also on these lawsuits. So, okay, that's number 1. Sam was the longest because there's the most about him right now. We got number 2, Tammy Machado. His wife also has been working there almost as long as him since 2001. She's also on administrative leave right now. This is their what they take home as a couple that worked for the department for 2023. Oops. And then right here, we're looking at, this is showing the property owner. And this is just this was an approval for a commercial storage building. If anybody has seen how that property has significantly grown, there's been a lot of add-ons, a lot of buildings. So this was one of the more recent, which was 2 years ago, approvals that was signed off by Scott Doolittle. So he is somebody that will come back up in this investigation, because he is now connected to the paperwork and signing off in some capacity to this horrible tragedy that obviously now we see could have been prevented. So once again, this was a family-owned space. Actually, so Rico is number 3. And why did it take me back? I think I clicked the wrong button. Sorry, guys. Do you have any, are there any questions that you see, Victoria, that we can maybe address, or any comments? Oh, I don't see Victoria. I think she got kicked out, guys. Okay, I'm seeing the comments now. Hi, Marisol. Okay, you guys, thank you guys for being here. I'm seeing the comments. I thought I still had my guest host with me, but she must have had to step out. So I will continue showing you guys here. I feel like this one is important, guys. The officer on the right, he's a deputy that is no longer a deputy. That is Deputy James Mount. And he actually responded back to one of my comments. My comment was straight to the sheriff, which is the man on the left. I was asking on a public page on Facebook if he knew about the facility, given their long going relationship. And so James Mount, yeah, so Victoria did have to leave. Thank you, Victoria. So this is James Mount. He's a former deputy. This is a response to me when I was out there saying, hey, did the sheriff know about this? He says, I worked there for 15 years. It's a policy for any employee making money outside of employment to have written permission from the sheriff himself. Curious if Lieutenant had permission. Well, the sheriff obviously or absolutely knew about this. All the deputies did, because they told us to stay away from the property. The administration tried to crucify me for having my own heavy equipment business. I was asked to do jobs for them during my employment, but just don't piss off the wrong person. They will all turn against you. So I wanted to share that one. We have he's not the only deputy who has former deputy who has spoken out against the department or had some type of issue. There's been a lot. The other thing about this, Tom Lopez, he is a loud and proud Freemason. He has it on his bio, and anybody knows about them over here, they running deep and involved in everything. Number 5, ex-sheriff Ed Prieto. He's the former sheriff. He was there for many years. Documented history of corruption. And this is before this current sheriff, guys. Documented history of corruption, cover-ups, and protecting their own. Decades of favoritism, lies, exposed again by the grand jury. The tragedy in Esparto isn't just some isolated incident. It's the deadly result of a department rotten from the corruption from the top down. No matter how many lives have been lost. So this is all still the former sheriff and he also is a sexual predator. This image right here I've created before the explosion and all that. I had already had this information. The former Yolo County sheriff, he faced multiple allegations of sexual harassment, and a lawsuit led to a $98,000 settlement with a gag order silencing the victim, who was a former deputy. So we're seeing not just like one and two deputies complaining, blowing the whistle. There has been a lot, especially for it being a smaller department. And I just want to say hi again. Marisol is one of the mothers, you guys. She lost her sons in the explosion. So, so sorry for everything you guys are going through. And everybody, I just wanted you guys to know the mothers here. And this is a sad thing about this situation, when we have mothers like having to go out of their way to try to get justice or try to find things out, try to get the correct information when we're dealing with law enforcement being involved, when they should be able to grieve their children. So this is just also a part of the lawsuit. I wanted to show you guys that. So number 3, Rico. I already told you guys about her. She owned the property right there right next to the lieutenant's property. So it's another deputy who is also family, who I don't think at this point can she even say that she didn't know about it. Her property was right there. It's her brother-in-law and sister's home, and it also is the property of their family. It's been in their generation, their family for many generations. The other thing right here, conflict of interest, and that these people are deeply connected. Tom Lopez has publicly shared that he even coached Rico when she was a little kid. So they might not be blood relatives, but they go back. Their family definitely goes back. Hi, Anthony. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. All right, guys. Let's see. Let's go back here. So as I brought up Rico, some stuff has come up about Rico, because some people act like she's possibly a good cop. I heard them out, but once I did some research and I shared some posts about her, information came to me. So this right here is a lawsuit that Rico was named a defendant in for brutalizing a family, for violating their First, Fourth, and 14th Amendment rights. And the family took it to the federal courts. There has been a lot of lawsuits attempted in Yolo County. I don't feel that many have been successful, besides the internal ones, because I didn't see an outcome come from the Vargas family one, is what I mean. The sheriff that I mentioned, the former sheriff, he was on my brother's case as well. That's why he made the corruption list too, because they did the investigation for my brother's murder by Woodland police. They didn't do a fair investigation. It was not transparent. They helped cover up. And these people, when they get these positions here in Yolo County, they end up staying in them. Whoops, I skipped over. They stay in them for many years, and it's actually really disturbing how many years they stay in office, just like our current DA, Jeff Reisig. So I just have to find the number I was on. Okay, number 63. So what happened with the last sheriff? The grand jury reported him, and then they said, "Hey, we're gonna do a review. We'll take care of it." So this man right here, he's number 6. He's the ex-mayor Skip Davies ex-mayor of Woodland. He is not an official Yolo County official, but I felt it was necessary to put him on here as he was the ex-mayor of the town of Woodland, but also he led the report and the review on the sheriff that had the sexual complaints, the harassment complaints. He led the review. But he also, years prior, he publicly defended a convicted child molester, Brett Pedroia, who is the brother of a former Boston Red Sox star. So someone who made it out of Woodland for his sports. His brother is a child molester, an admitted and convicted child molester. And our city of Woodland mayor publicly defended him. He wrote to the courts to give him leniency. So I found that to be interesting connection, how he's defending child molesters and he's also allowed to lead the review against corrupt officials. And we have another former deputy who blew the whistle on the department, sued the department. This man right here, former deputy Dean Nyland. He has a lot of accusations, sexual harassment, favoritism as well. He actually has a very serious claim against a current captain, Hernan Oviedo, which is our next. He made the killer cops list and corrupt. So that deputy I just showed you guys, he ended up getting a lawsuit settlement, $350,000 that came from the county's taxpayers. So it came from the people of Yolo County, not from law enforcement who was involved. So he got it for speaking out. So number 7, Captain Hernan Oviedo. This is the man who threatened the last guy. He threatened the other deputy. He's actually a killer cop that killed Luis Gutierrez, a man who was walking home from the DMV after having a DMV appointment, minding his business. 3 deputies came up, profiled him, killed him. He didn't have any weapons. So this killer cop later is threatening this deputy, went up to him and said, "I should shoot you in the effing head," while he's at work, while he's working as a captain. And there was also claims of him driving the patrol cars drunk. Lots of stuff going on, and it's not even like in hidden sight. This is all public record, and that's why I feel it's important to keep sharing this information. I don't think enough of the people in Woodland, Yolo County, I don't think they know all these details. And if they do, how do you guys feel? Oviedo is still a captain. He is currently a Yolo County captain. And this man, who was the one who got threatened and tried to speak out against the bad things going on in the department, he no longer works for the department. And it just shows you how they continue to reward this horrible behavior. That's not even the proper word for it, but killer behavior. He was also when they killed that young man. They were a part of the Yolo County Gang Task Force, and they were plain clothes. So the man didn't know who was going up to him and yelling at him and attacking him. His family did file a lawsuit, and they did fight for justice, but justice has not come about in Yolo County. Number 8, Dale Johnson, killer cop with that same situation that I just explained. He was involved in that one, but he later became the undersheriff. So after killing, they move up. R.I.P. Luis Gutierrez. And these are clips from the newspaper, but also the claim for the federal lawsuit. Yeah. So there's just so many. As I mentioned, I can't even keep up with all the corruption in this community. This is the third killer cop that goes with the batch of the last ones. He moved up to be a sergeant, and he is now retired. He retired, enjoying the pension. He gets comments, when he got retired, lots of thank yous, did a great job, but no one's talking about the man whose life they took needlessly. And that's something truly disturbing about these killings. A lot of people just accept it. Or, I hate to say it, until it happens to us, until it happens to you, people don't know enough or don't care enough. So that's why I keep talking about it. We need people to care. Unfortunately, it still brings more people that it's happening to for people to care. All right, guys, I'm going to finish getting through these because it's already 7:40. It's planning to be here for an hour. Yeah, I see the comments here. I hope you guys I see you guys are chatting with each other. Anthony. Okay, let's go back to this next one. So really, number 10, Matthew Davis. This is the undersheriff, Matthew Davis. He was also, so you guys might remember him from the press conference. Well, he's been at some of the press conferences. What I noticed with him was they don't want to answer questions. They act like they're there to answer questions. And then he seemed annoyed with the families, people asking questions. I have an experience with him because he was actually a sergeant when my brother was killed. So he was a sergeant with the department. And again, that was the department that investigated his murder. So he makes the list too, guys. And the other thing about him, just all of them being at the press conferences, holding the press conferences, even the Yolo County Sheriff being involved in this investigation at all, it compromised the investigation from the beginning. And it's not like they didn't know that there were multiple deputies and employees that lived there, that owned that property. Everybody knew it. Well, all of them knew it. Okay, I'm going to scoot on to the next. $86. Okay, number 11, Stephen Guthrie. So he used to be with the Woodland Police Department, and this is another thing. Officers getting switched around. He was with the Woodland Police Department when my brother was killed, and he was the cop that came to give us the answers. If anybody has dealt with police in this capacity, you know how they play the good cop, bad cop, and eventually one of the cops tries to act friendly and says that they're here to help and they want to answer your questions. That was who he was to us. So he played that role like he was going to get us answers. And sorry, I cut his face off on this one. I just noticed it now. But he was going to give us answers. Well, he told us that my brother was unarmed and in an altercation with a lot of cops. And that was it. He didn't know what happened. His officers were muddy and stuff like that. And then 15 minutes later, the news told us and everybody else that my brother had all these weapons and was attacking cops and all these lies. I hit that cop up immediately, this one right here, after I saw the news come out with that, which was a press release from his colleagues, and they just played like they don't know. So yeah, he's with the sheriff's department now. He moved up there, and I've dealt with him while getting a record request from the department, and they tried to blow me off, but I used the law against them. So guess what? They can't, because I let them know if they don't respond to my record requests, then they might get another lawsuit on their hands. So utilize what you guys can. It's because some things they do have to provide. So Jeff Reisig, if you guys know him, he is the DA. I actually don't even need to say much if people know him. Like, you just know, protected law enforcement. Every time that law enforcement has killed, he's refused accountability. He has a history of misconduct, but he also has a history of helping wrongfully convict men, over prosecuting Black and brown men. Justin Gonzalez was one of them. He got out. He was able to come out, I think 2 years ago now. It's been like 2 years. And his family fought like hell. I think it was seven years that he was fighting. He ended up in prison for a murder that he did not commit. And evidence was withheld. All the same story that you get from a wrongful conviction. It's like they planned it together. They literally they know the steps. And if anybody's from Woodland, you probably familiar with the Halloween shooting, where there's multiple men who were wrongfully convicted in that case too, and not the right people or who they went after. Woodland, Yolo County has a good amount of wrongful convictions, and Justin Gonzalez was the first, I think the first that had the chance to get a second trial and win. That was so great to see. I saw his family fighting like hell. So, okay, Jeff Reisig. So there's actually a lot we could say about him. I did in the video I had ready.
This is
Here,
Yolo
watch.
DA Jeff Reisig.
Let me mute myself, and then you guys should be able to hear this video, because this is actually a former cop in Woodland who blew the whistle on him. So let me mute myself and see if this plays for us.
And most people who've been watching a while know my history with him. I turned him in. He was trying to hide evidence in a murder trial, and I mean, he was just doing all kind of crooked stuff. I've arrested so many felons, I can't even keep track of how many felons are in prison and how many felony arrests I've made in my career. It's got to be close to thousands. It's just, and I guarantee you, the most crooked, unethical, destructive person I've ever met is this guy, Jeff Reisig. And he's still in office, and he keeps getting reelected. I just don't get it. I mean, me and my lieutenant were the senior guys And we didn't make shit up. We got on the stand. I got on the stand, testified. Everything in my letter was true. Everything I said about him was true. I offered to take a lie detector test if he would take one to prove that I was telling the truth, he was lying. Of course, he didn't want it, and they didn't want me taking a lie detector test because it'd make his case worse. But let me tell you something. When Jeff Rising walks in the courtroom, I don't care who's in there trying to get convicted. He is the dirtiest, sleaziest person in the courtroom.
Okay, thank you, Vanessa. I wasn't sure if that was going to play or not.
So this is probably, I think
Number 5, ex-sheriff Ed Prieto. He ran the Yolo County Sheriff's Department for years and set the tone for the Wild West culture. Under Prieto, the department was repeatedly called out by the grand jury for corruption, cover-ups, favoritism, and intimidation. He became notorious for harassment, nepotism, and silence.
Sorry, guys, I got mixed up there. The video I had ready started playing one of the clips, and that threw me off. Sorry about that. So I am going to read a couple of the comments because I saw we got some comments here. What's up, Tony? Good to see you out here. Rick Perez, they got to get what they can from this world because they all are likely to rot in hell after they meet our creator. Yep, I believe it. I believe that to be true. Anthony, I grew up with Justin's dad. Yes, his dad's super cool. I've got to know him just through our tragedies, which were different, but we face similarities. So we do have a really good understanding with each other. Oh, shoot. I didn't. No. I think I seen Michaela in here. There's so many issues, even from within the department, court records, media coverage, publicly available information. Guess the California Attorney General needs to investigate. Yes, and that's another reason, when I keep trying to share and speak up on this issue, because the California Attorney General has rejected it. So it's like, how can you do that when all of this, and even just what's on the surface? So I'm going to come back to the presentation. We're going to just roll through it because I know we're getting close with time. But basically, that video I was sharing with you guys, that former cop, he blew the whistle on him. He basically says the way it goes down, these bad cops are bad DAs. They get them to do one favor for them because they don't know better. And then they use that as leverage. They blackmail you. They threaten you. They make you keep doing bad stuff. That's what he said, at least. But he got out of here. He did get a settlement because they retaliated against him. But he refers to Reisig as such a horrible stuff. He says all the criminals he's ever arrested or ever been against or ever anything, that he guarantees Reisig is a whole lot worse than any criminal in the whole. Yeah, he's pretty bad. Okay, guys, number 12. I promise you 5 of them are together, so we'll be quick with this. Number 12, Fritz van der Hoek. Okay, guys, this is, if you're in Yolo County, this is one of your deputy DAs. He is also a killer cop. And you want to know how I know this? I know this because my dear friend Lori Valdez out of San Jose, her partner was killed by him and another cop on the San Jose State University campus. He was walking. He was minding his business. A lot of times these men are minding their business, and they get profiled. So Antonio, he wasn't a Spanish. He was mainly Spanish speaking, and the cops wanted to interact with him. In the end, they lied. They lied about him charging, and this is some photos to the left is part of it. So you see him. They tased him first and from the back. He hadn't committed any crimes. He had not done anything. They tased him from the back, and then they shot him. after tasing him. So this here on the right, Yolo DA's office. So it was creepy how it happened. Because Lori Valdez became my friend because we support each other. We're really good friends. And then she's, what do you know? Out of everywhere, they send him to Yolo County where I live. So that's how we put it together. And I want anybody from Yolo County to know that the word on the street is that he's going to be running to be a judge soon, this next election. So we probably don't want killer cops up there as judges, and multiple other reasons why. So 13 through 17, I'm going out on a limb, guys, because I'm putting, and this is the Board of Supervisors for Yolo County. I have them all on here, so you could see their faces. I have them all on here because what we have been through just in this short time of me sharing you guys my findings, that I don't even have enough time to share everything, all of that, and it's been going on for years. And frankly, if anybody could sit up there and continue, if that were me, I couldn't sit up there. I would step down. Everything going on, even with the Yolo County explosion, when Mary Vixie Sandy, when she requested that the Attorney General step in, it wasn't for the sake of transparency and for the people, and so that we assure that we do this right. It was because the public's perceived perception of conflicts of interest. So, like, I noticed things, and the way it's said, it to me it seems like only because the public is crying about conflict of interest, not that there is literally conflicts of interest seeping. So yeah, I'm going out on a limb with putting them all on there. Change has to come some way, but what I do know is that they switch around. Angel Barajas, District 5, he used to be the mayor of Woodland. He used to be a city councilman. And I know he's just trying to move up and up and up. When he was the mayor, when my brother was killed by police in the city of Woodland. So he had some capacity to do something about that. And as I've mentioned on previous videos, I knew Angel Barajas before my brother was killed. And we had a mutual respect for each other. And they don't do nothing. They just continue to let this happen. Yo, what's up, Williams? I see a couple more faces in here. Good to see you guys. A comment here. We all know the fire warehouse was not an accident. They need to bring it to light. They got murdered. Everyone knows that shit was planned. Bring it to light. William Cuts. Yo, what's up? Okay, you guys, I'm going to get through these last couple ones, and thank you guys for joining again. We still got folks on, so let's wrap this up. So yeah, that once again, Board of Supervisors, Craig Cutright. I had his picture on here, but what I wanted to show you guys, Craig Cutright is the firefighter, the volunteer firefighter. But what I really want to show you guys, which is something that I found out recently as I was looking more into this. So this right here is a list of the workers, the employees at the Esparto Fire District. Okay. So the first 3 are admin. Then we have 3 paid staff. The rest are volunteer. So what I find, that was the first responders to the explosion, right? But they were also the department that was supposed to oversee inspections and different type of oversight on that level, right? So obviously that didn't happen, or they let the firefighter get away with it, or what? Hi, Maria. No, you're good. You're good. We had a little mishap with my video uploading, so I just freestyled it. But the video it was really good, and I had trouble uploading, but I'm going through it, finishing off with the last few. So back to the fire department. It is so disturbing to me, guys, when we scroll in and I counted, I think it was 25 altogether. If you connect the last names and you just really start seeing how many of these folks are related to each other, how many family members are working in this small department. That brings problems. I know Esparto is a small area. Yeah, there's a lot of people, family members, people who have been longtime residents. But when you have so many family members working together, that's going to bring a lot of problems. And one of them is the ability for oversight and accountability, even just within the department. Because are you guys going to let your family members slide? Are you guys going to hold them to accountability when necessary? But when I added, and if I'm just going based off the last names, I need to look into this more, and I have submitted public record requests to the department, which they have to respond to, because now I need to see what their policies are, because we already know the sheriff's department nepotism and hiring family members and keeping, that's very clear, been happening and is well documented. So is that the case over here? Also, the Board of Supervisors oversee all the fire districts. So all of the fire districts in Yolo County. So what I've also found are some of these people, these firefighters in here, I recognize names and I have a sharp memory. So some of these firefighters are the very people who try to pick on and attack advocates like me. So before I mention this one, so what I'm saying about the firefighters, those people, when my brother was killed, there's at least one person on there who kept trying to bully me, and he's a firefighter. Now I know when I'm speaking up for this Esparto situation and the victims and calling for accountability publicly, one of their current firefighters went to my page as someone advocating for human life, and she went to my post about my brother being killed and laughed at it. So that's a current firefighter. I'm going to show you guys her face next because she made my list. But first, Curtis Lawrence, he is the chief there. So he was also doing the public press conferences. He looked like he didn't want to be there, answer any questions. He admitted he talked to Craig and checked on his brother and everything. He's a conflict of interest within all of this as well, because his department also is the one that either did or should have had signing off and oversight for the inspections and stuff at that facility. So he is on the list. Okay, you guys, almost done here. I'm only going to be like a couple more minutes long because I know everybody has a life to get back to. And thank you guys for hanging out with me. This is like what I do on Friday nights. If I wasn't here with you guys, I would be working on stuff eventually. This is actually a picture of the part of the property. So there's homes on it. That's where they lived. This one is one that's crazy though, guys. So this one is super crazy. I don't know if any of you guys, anybody from this area recognize this person or the name Robert Eric Eason. Robert Eric Eason. So this is a former firefighter, and he got busted for setting fires, guys. He 143. He did get, and that's fires that they think he set. He did get caught. I think they said they gave him 40 years and he spent a third of the time, but I'll have it up here. But yeah, he was caught setting fires all over Yolo County. 143. And he was a volunteer firefighter for the Cape Fire Protection District since 1988. He got caught back in 2006, but I was born in 1988 and I graduated high school in 2006. So he was just setting fires. So he made it. That's why I said some are former people, not around still, but it's just still weird. He was convicted, sentenced to 40 years in prison, and he served a third of his term. Yeah, so he's definitely, that's just, I don't know what went on with him. So I'm going to the final one, guys, and this one is the one I mentioned. I don't know, my Esparto friends over there, William, you might know this lady. So the reason Rebecca Middleman, and I know one of her former names, Middleman or Stotts, she's went by both. She made my list because, as I mentioned, I'm advocating for what's right, which is accountability and transparency, and give the families some answers, at least communicate with them. And the residents too. They want answers for what they've been through as well. So she was firefighter of the year, and their mission there is it is a mission of the Esparto Fire Protection District to serve our community visitors and neighbors with the highest level in service. So I feel if you're a public official, why are you going to advocates' pages laughing at my brother's murder when you are actually involved in this mess? Because you're a paid firefighter there in a department that is gonna be looked into criminally probably too. That's why Rebecca made my list, guys. You grew up with her? Yeah. Yeah, so I found out quickly that she was a firefighter, and I thought that was interesting because if you're a public official, if you were just somewhat involved with this tragedy, like how do you have what is in your mind or in your heart to even go and laugh at anybody's, I wouldn't trust her as a firefighter. I feel they should be having empathy for what happened in their community instead of going to try to pick on advocates who are speaking up. So she made the list. And then you know what I found? The reason I pulled her on here too is because she also, what do I find out? When I look, I find out she used to be with the sheriff's department. Yeah, I'm kind. I blocked out her kids' faces. She used to be with the sheriff's department, and she got terminated. And that's her man or her ex, and he is with the sheriff's department. So when I'm saying they're all mixed together, see, that's her laughing at me. But she came out of her way to go to my page. When we're finding that law enforcement and firefighters are so entangled, can we trust the firefighters now? Now I realize that I've been attacked by multiple of them. One of them who used to attack my page after my brother's death is a fire captain in Dunnigan now. So it's what? So to me, that's a corrupt mind right there. And that's why she made it. Last thing I'm sharing, I just added this here to make a point. This is something that same lady shared. So just days after the explosion happened, people were having fundraisers for Tammy and Sam Machado. I saw that there was one event on the 3rd, 2 days after this explosion happened, while families were still waiting for answers. The Machados were having fundraisers. And I think that's weird. And especially it comes from a firefighter who's attacking advocates or harassing advocates a little bit. Needless to say, everything going on is very interconnected in Yolo County. And yeah. Tony, I don't think you were here on the part where I mentioned when I was showing the sheriff his little thing. I shared that he's a loud and proud Freemason. He has it on his bio on the website, on the Yolo County Sheriff's website. That's a part of his bio. Yeah. So I could even, let me see. And you know what? It really gives me the chills. But let me. See, this is his bio. He's been with the fire department. And overlapping his time as a law enforcement officer too. So the bottom one, he's a life member of the Masonic Lodge and is a member of the Elks Lodge. So yeah. So we'll leave it there, guys. That was a lot, and I'm gonna stop sharing the screen. Okay, yeah, that was a lot. Thank you guys for hanging out, and let's see if you guys have any more final comments or questions or anything you guys might want to ask. Also, there is another loved one in here. I know we mentioned the mom earlier, who I don't know if she's still in here, but there's another loved one. So y'all pour your love that way. So I can get answers from Willie. The common thread between cops and firefighters is Freemasonry. Maria, I was about to ask you about. Talked about that and get answers from Willie. Okay. The email was leaked on Tom Lopez. I believe they were trying to raise money for the loss of their house. Oh. Yeah, you know what? I saw multiple fundraisers. It was one with the Pee-wees. What's the Esparto ones? The Spartans? The Pop Warner Pee-wees, they had a brunch that they were already having, and then they said, oh, all our funds are going to the Machados. It's like, what? The reason that I actually caught wind of that too is because somebody messaged me as a tip from a fake page. They're like, I don't know if you saw this yet, but people are having fundraisers for them, and I don't think it's okay. For some reason, I feel like that was probably a cop, because they're messaging me from a fake page, and I have gotten tips from people who love cops, guys, and that's when you know that there is something really bad going on out here, and people who love cops are reaching out to Marissa Barrera and like want to help and want me to look into stuff. No worries, Maria. I know how it is. And yeah, it's all good. Good to see you here, though. Let's see. My touch screen is being very touchy. I think I see Vanessa still here. Is that you? Yeah. You got arrested by Machado, William? Is that what you're saying? Did he brutalize you, or is he normal? Sorry to ask like that, but you're welcome, Vanessa. Thank you for hanging out. I hope school was good to you this week. And Vanessa, people have been telling me that you're going to make a great lawyer. They really enjoyed watching our interview. They thought you were so fucking amazing. Marisol, you're still here. Hi. Thank you. Thank you for coming too. And I know it's a lot, so I will invite you guys if I hold stuff like this, but don't ever feel pressured. I can always pass the message along, or I know it's a lot of energy and you guys got a lot going on right now. But yeah, thank you guys again for coming out. But yeah, for hanging out with me on here. And I did want to share that information and just keep putting it out there. And I keep getting more messages. One lady messaged me about one of the female cops, Rico, number 3. A lady's like, that's the lady that I got into a fight with like a while back. And then she got into a fist fight with someone on the streets. And then when she got arrested, even though she didn't start it, she said, they told her, oh, you just punched a law enforcement officer. So now she's going to look into her public I told her to put in a public records request on her own case, and she could find out if there was like what happened, hopefully behind the scene. You know, all of them, Rico, Tammy, Becky, Lopez, a lot more. Okay. Yeah. And I've gotten tips from people. So I'm just going to keep sharing. And when people give me approval, like some people have their own stories, but they're scared to put it out there. So I'd be respectful if people don't want me to share. But if you guys do, I'm always down. I forgot to mention about the, we're starting a petition to try to get the federal intervention. The Attorney General already said nope, which is horrible. So yeah, I've been talking to a couple of the families about that. So I was intending to place that up on here, but sorry guys, I forgot. But I will reach out to everybody and ask you guys to sign it. So all right, I'm gonna close this up. Thank you guys for coming in. William, this is so much bigger than how they're acting. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna finish on that thought. It's so much bigger than how they're acting. They're already acting like people just need to go back to regular day life and no big deal, when there's still people suffering. And Williams, do you live out there in Esparto? Because I heard that it's still like it's still just left. Is that what you've seen? Okay, DM me. Yeah. All right, cool. I got someone who's going to do some research and get back to me. Yeah, they're lazy and incompetent. I can't even say the word right now. All right, guys. I'm going to let you guys have a good rest of your night. Thank you guys for joining and chatting and looking at this legal stuff with me. Take care, everybody. Wishing you guys all the best and a good night.